Thank you for joining us, Charu. My first question is you're from the banking industry. We have seen the evolution of banks, from people knowing each and every member who's working in your branch to not knowing where the branch exists. The banks have gone basically faceless. So how do you see this, and what is the future of the banking segment?
Okay. So uh, you're right. I think banks have evolved a lot, especially in the last 4 to 5 years, and technology has a lot to do with it. There was a time, when most of the tech intervention in the banks was about bringing more efficiency to the processes, making the branches more efficient, making more and more of processing happen straight through. I think we are at that point now. We are moving towards doing business using technology, and in the long run, I do believe there will be only two types of businesses that would survive. You will either be a tech-enabled organization, or you will be a tech-led. And within banks itself, while we were doing a lot of enablement using technology, we are already seeing that pivot happen now. Now banks will do business on the back of technology. So the customer will download an app, get an account, get whatever service he wants, take a loan, buy his insurance, take any of the products. And yes, as long as we get the tech right, maybe not feel the need of interacting, as much with the traditional channels or branches. So it's a very exciting phase to be in banks, and a lot of change happening at the moment. Yeah.
But when we talk about tech, we can't escape the reality of AI and ML led, now doing much more, what do you say, automation in the industry. But do you see somewhere down the line, that there will still always be a need for having a person behind the screen, or someone behind the call? Or you think that it would become completely automated, because right now everything is available on just one single click of an app? Buy an insurance, pay someone, or even buy groceries.
Um, we'll see how it goes. But at the moment, basis whatever consumer research we do, at the moment, especially when it comes to matters of money and aspects of managing money, um, people do get a level of trust by seeing a bank in its traditional form, which is like a branch, a relationship manager, a branch manager. That does add a level of trust and credibility. So when you talk of businesses, let's say with HNIs or in wealth management, it does become important. But if you look at payments, and the way UPI has kind of taken off, people do payments all the time, and there is no real need that anybody feels to like pick up the phone and talk to anybody. Even if your payment is failed, there is an automatic settlement end of day which happens. You get a refund. You really don't need to call anybody and ask where your money is. So I do think the value of putting human touch, you will put human touch only where you can get more value out of the conversation. And a lot of basics will be completely governed by tech. Yeah.
Uh, Quick last question. Top three trends that you, according to Charu, that we have to look for that will impact the future of banking in India.
So one of the very interesting trends which is there is embedded finance, open banking. I do think that's going to take off in a big way. Um, Increasingly people used to say banking is not happening in a bank branch, it's happening on a mobile app. Increasingly banking is not happening on a bank mobile app, it's probably happening on some other app in the ecosystem. Could be a payment app, a wealth app, an e-commerce app. So I think being a part of the ecosystem, getting connected in the ecosystem is a very important thing that we are focusing on, and that's a big mega trend that's coming up. So open banking, banking as a service, as a model. The other thing is, of course, data and analytics and artificial intelligence, and how do we use all of that to create better consumer experience and not just do it. You can get lost in it, but how do you get real value out of data and AI and ML is something that's going to play out in the next few years in banking. And if I have to pick up a third thing, is that what I said, you will have to become a tech led business. and that would mean an entire aspect of design thinking and human centered design, and how do you humanize technology instead of keeping it still very complicated. People don't understand maturity amounts and tenures and pre-mat withdrawals. We got to simplify it, humanize it, and have a lot of design thinking led approach to building technology for clients. So I think those are some of the things that I think will play out.